So, welcome back to another fun fanfiction idea, and this one is going to be another adaptation of a classic story, and that is Hulk, an adaptation of Hulk Future Imperfect. Now, for those who don't know what Hulk Future Imperfect was, it was basically this two-part comic where Peter David wrote this story where the Hulk gets thrown into the future and encounters a dystopian, almost like Planet of the Apes world, where mankind just nuked itself. It wasn't a villain took over and destroyed the world. No, it was mankind just entered World War III and nuked each other into oblivion, and out of it came the Maestro, who is the future version of the Hulk. And Peter David, a side note, has been doing a lot of cool Maestro-centric comics of him rising to power. They've been really fun. I might do reviews of that if anyone's interested. Just comment below if you are interested in me reviewing the two volumes of the Maestro series. But yeah, I thought it'd be a fun adaptation of that. Anyway, so, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this is an adaptation of that story with with a bit of a cartoon twist, if you haven't figured it out already. So, in this story, basically what this is that this is very it is a crossover kind of thing, but it's a little more centered. It's a little more more centered around one character, and other characters are just there to kind of help move the story along. Anyway, so in this, basically what has happened is that someone has nabbed the center, as you can see from the title. It is Steven Universe that's going to be centered around. So in here, Steven has been nabbed by an unknown assailant and thrown into the future. And he at first doesn't understand why. He wakes up in an underground base, or more like an underground shelter, not so much a base, and he's just like, what the hell's going on? I don't belong here. And a voice says, no, you don't, but we need you. And that person is a very elderly Dipper Pines. Yeah, he's not the villain in this story. Yeah, I know, I'm shocked too. So Dipper basically tells him that, look, what happened, when he shows him the world, he's like, here's what happened to the world. He's like, oh my god, Steven's like, oh my god, what happened? Did the Decepticons destroy the planet? Did Cobra nuke the world? And he's like, no, dude, you gotta sit down for this one. And Dipper basically tells him, the governments of the world had a huge dick measuring contest and just started to nuke each other in World War III. It wasn't some grand villain scheme. It wasn't some grand villain plot or super villain plot. It was ordinary people who decided to destroy themselves, and all the superheroes, and a vast majority of the superheroes, got caught in the crossfire and got nuked. And some of them even went to war and fought for other for either as U.S. super soldiers or something of like that, and they just end up dying anyway. So that's basically what happened, and Steven's kind of rocked by this, and he's like, oh my god, I always wanted to see the good in people, but how did this even happen? How could this even happen? And Dipper tells him, mankind's shitty. We're human. You're half human. You should figure it out. I know you always want to see the good in people, Steven, but there's a point where you have to realize we're shitty. We're just awful. We just want to destroy ourselves. And it's not. And then Dipper tells him the real hell happened after that. But first, let me show you something real quick. And Dipper basically takes him into a room that's just filled with trophies. Not so much trophies, but relics. Dipper's basically collected a museum of the heroes who have all died, the remnants of Danny Phantom's costume, Kim's communicator, the Power Rangers smashed power coins, the Miraculouses all broken and destroyed. All of them died. They didn't die from something like a supervillain attack. They just essentially they all got killed in the nukes or soldiers. And even a lot of villains are in here too, like Cobra Commander's helmet. Even a lot of villains are dead too. And Steven's like, oh my god, what could even be worse than this? And Dipper goes, funny you should mention that. Come here. So Dipper basically shows him he basically shows him the future. He basically shows him a place called Dystopia. and dystopia, and he's like, man, this looks, the kingdom of dystopia is like really big, like it all is kind of like Mega City 1, where it's all like the eastern seaboard of what's left of the US has been turned into one kingdom. And Dipper basically goes, there's a capital to this city and you're not gonna like it. And he shows them that it's Beach City and it's run by the Maestro, and if you haven't figured it out yet, yes, future Steven is the Maestro of this universe. He is basically the Maestro, and Dipper basically tells younger Steven, yeah, when the heroes lost, you went nuts. You basically wanted to see, I know you always wanted to see like the good in people and all that, but like you snapped when all the other and he's like, oh my god, did the gems all die? Did Connie die? And Dipper basically is, dude, I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but you gotta know. The gems survived the war. Connie survived the war. You guys actually put a dome around Beach City as the nukes were going off. And for a time, you guys were cool. And then you lost your sanity and killed you murdered the crystal gems. You murdered Connie. You know, you killed everyone. You basically killed anyone who didn't agree with you, and then decided to conquer the rest of the world. You basically turned into your aunts and your grandmother in their best days. So Steven is just rocked by this sudden news that he just murdered he was responsible for murdering everyone around him, and he's now just it's like just messes with him. So, and then Steven's like, all right, why did you bring me to the future? How did you even bring me to the future? You know, why would you even show me this? And Dipper basically tells him, look, we found a way. We basically found Star Butterfly's old spell book, and in there was a time spell. So we used the time spell to rip you here, because really you're the only one left who could really like fight yourself. And like Steven goes, you mean like talk myself down and like maybe figure out a positive way? And Dipper goes, no, dumbass, you gotta fight him. You're the only one who's strong enough to fight him. I don't even know, like, this plan was half baked to begin with. We're gripping at straws out here, man. Like, like, at some point, your future self is gonna the Maestro is gonna find out where we are and kill everyone. You're my last hope. Like, I'm down here with, like, literally what's left of the people who escaped dystopia, and that's it. Like, really, it's just me and, like, nobody else. Like, every other hero is dead in the future, and you're the only one strong enough to really fight him. So Dipper leads him into dystopia and is like, all right, good luck. And Steven goes to face his future self, the Maestro, head on. And Maestro's just like, hey, holy crap, me! What's going on? Oh, you heard about oh, I know, Dipper probably told you about the whole, conquest thing. Well, not sorry about that. Anyway, boom! And just, the two fight, but this version of Steven has, like, gained... If you thought he was powerful before in Steven Universe Future, he's gotten to a whole new level. And Steven, the Maestro basically tells Steven, oh my god, I've been waiting for a fight for so many years. Like, the last person I fought and killed was like a decade ago, and that was frickin', that was who was it? Oh my god. Oh right, I killed Sailor Moon. She was the last one who could have beaten me. And honestly, you should have brought someone else. If it was like someone like, maybe Danny could have beaten me. Maybe past Usagi could have beaten me. Or even like Optimus could have beaten me. You? What was Constellation Head thinking? Oh my god. But anyway, snaps his neck, paralyzes him, and basically shows him around dystopia, and he's like, look, listen, I know you passed me, you're me, so you're gonna listen to me. You're basically an idiot. You let the world, like, you wanted to believe there's good in everyone. Newsflash, you basically let the world, the world is shitty, and we didn't realize that until the nukes went off. And even then, like, that's when the real shit hit the fan, when, you know, mankind just started eating each other, both figuratively and literally. I brought peace and order to this to dystopia. Does it suck? Yeah. Am I a monster? Agree to disagree. But the point is, you can't stop this. I won. So, and also, here's the other thing. Congratulations, you coming here has created an alternate timeline. So literally, even if you go back, this timeline is safe now. Like, literally, you altered the timeline, so you just created an alternate timeline. So I literally am safe. Like, you've created a timeline where I can just exist. I don't need you. Come on, man. But I want you to hang out with me. I want you to see and then go back. Maybe you can be the maestro all over again. Of course, Steven, like, used his healing powers to heal his spine, breaks out, and the two fight again, only this time they use Star's spell to go back to another point. This time they actually go further back and actually end up in Japan in August in 1945. You see where I'm going with this? They literally, Steven went back so far in time. He went to the day Hiroshima was bombed. And Steven, like, fights him long enough and then bounces, and before future Steven, like, the maestro goes, oh, mother, boom. So Steven goes back and he's like, oh, shit, I could be that. So that is, like, a wake-up call to really, like, get help. And maybe, like, not be so naive about everything. So anyway, there you go. That is my adaptation of Future Imperfect. You guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of that? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. As always, if you want to check out some other exclusive content, go check the link below into my Patreon. Become a Patreon there. And if you hit the 4th tier, you can actually have me... You can request videos to me that I will do here on YouTube. I actually got a few requests I need to get on at some point. I've been busy. Anyway, so... yeah. Also, that's where my Marvel What If review is going to be, so, stay tuned for that. Yeah, but if you want to check that out, go check the link below on my Patreon. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.